Let's talk about lambda functions. So what is a lambda function, or also a lambda expression, you might hear them be called. So basically lambda functions are going to be anonymous functions that can be passed to other functions. So what does that mean? Well, basically a lambda function is just going to be like any other normal Python function, except for that's going to have no name when you define it. And it's also going to be contained into one line of code. So that's kind of the differences with a lambda function. Now, let's just go through and show you first. Let's show you how we'll define a normal function. So we'll say def and we'll say full name like this. And we'll pass in two arguments here. So first and last. So we're going to get the full name. And then we're going to return here. And we will say first. And we'll say plus here. And then we'll do a space. And then plus here. And we'll say last like that. So this is just kind of a basic full name function. And then we come down here and we'll just say print like this. And we will pass in the two different variables into our full name function. So we'll say full name like this. And then we'll pass in our first, which we'll say is Darwin. And then another one, which will be our last name. And we'll say tech like this. Now, if we save that and then we run it, you can see over on this right-hand side, we get the Darwin tech. So this is our traditional function, how it is normally done. Now, with a lambda function, this can be shortened up quite a bit. So let's comment this out here. And we'll just come down below here and show you how this is done with lambda syntax. So first of all, the lambda syntax is going to be like this. So we're going to say lambda like that, and that's going to be our keyword. And then you're going to have an argument or arguments, either one. And then you have a colon and then an expression. So that's the syntax for a lambda function, just like this. Now let's fill this out. So for us, we're going to say a lambda like this, and then we're going to pass in our first argument here, and then we're going to have a second one. So you have multiple arguments here after the lambda. You don't just need to have one. And then we're going to have our expression after that. So for this expression here, we're just going to say first and then again plus, and we'll go like this, and then another plus, and then last, just like this. So these two, this one and this one, are going to be basically equivalent. Now right now we have no way of calling this, so we have to assign the full name to it as a variable. And if we save this and run it, you see we get the same result. So those two are equal. But basically this isn't helping us too much. So let's look at a more real world scenario where we might use this. So let's get rid of this here and here for now. And then we'll come down below that. And let's do a more realistic. So let's add, let's say we have a list here. We have a list of nums right here. And then we come down below here. And let's take a look at how we might use this lambda function. So one of the ways we might use these relatively often is through the different built-in Python functions like filter and map and all the different ones. So let's try this out with filter. So let's say filtered underscore list like this, and then we're gonna get a list here, and then we will pass in the filter like this, and we're going to actually go through these filters and stuff, but basically what filter is going to do is filter through a list and determine based on some criteria that we're going to say whether the items stay in the list or not. So we have filter, and then for this filter we can pass in a lambda here like that, and we'll just say lambda and we'll say x for now, and then we're just going to say if x is greater than 5. So we're going to filter through all of these and see which ones are greater than 5 there. And then after the 5, we're going to have a comma like this and then pass in that list of nums, just like that. Okay, make sure everything's closed off. And let's give ourselves a little room here so we can see the whole thing. So this is our filtered list, and we can just pass in this lambda function right here like this. So this is a more realistic use case. Now, if we come down below here and we say print, and we'll print the filtered list like this, go ahead and save that, and then we'll run it. And you can see we get 8 and 6 because those are our two numbers that are greater than 5 in this list. So that is a more real world scenario where you might use a Lambda function, but basically anytime you want a one-line anonymous inline function, you might want to reach for a Lambda. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.